Hi, I'm Christopher
Hi,
Sapp.
everybody. This is Bob
Hey guys,
Bergen.
this is Stephanie Shea.
Hey, I'm Veronica Taylor.
Hey, everybody. This is Billy West.
Hey guys, I'm Ryan Goldlevy.
Hi, this is Kyle
Hi,
Aber.
this is Kira Buckley.
Hi, I'm Jameson Price.
Hi, I'm Sean Chiplock.
You are listening to Two Dads.
You're listening to
Two Dads.
Two dads.
Two dads.
Two dads.
Two dads.
Two dads.
Two dads
And a podcast.
There's a couple of dads on the podcast.
Yes, I feel powerful.
Hi, I'm Felix the Human.
And I am Tired Dad.
You are listening to, what's it called again?
A couple of dads in a podcast.
So today we decided to, now look, man,
I'm sorry.
I'm not an Iron Man
I
expert,
apologize
okay?
for this one, by the way.
I am not.
Neither am I.
I like Iron Man quite a bit and Marvel. There was just a lot of, that looks cool. And then that was about the depth of my.
So to follow up and fill you guys in on what his train of thought is, I challenged him to do top 5 Iron Man suits or Iron Man
like
armor.
1,000.
Yeah,
there's only like a fucking 1,000 of these to go through. Thanks, guy. Thanks. Yeah. I mean,
Dude.
you gave me an extra week, so that was nice.
Yeah. Well, look. We're going to mess up some information about these, but I guarantee you most of pretty much all of my list is, ooh, that looks really cool. And I read up a bit about it, and then I learned that Marvel Comics and the continuity for it is convoluted as fuck.
Well, yeah, no, I mainly collect X-Men comics. That's mainly all I've read from Marvel, X-Men, and Spider-Man, or my go-tos. So, I've watched the movies. Yeah. I've watched the TV shows and animated movies, but there's so many.
There are. And
there's
trying
so
to
many.
Figure out and at least give a little bit of description on what these armors are and stuff.
They don't.
I learned that
when it comes.
I learned that Tony,
when it comes to the video games,
no,
they're just like,
no.
And this is the green one, and this is the silver one, and they all do the same thing.
Look, my biggest thing is I learned that Tony Stark had a secret brother, and he was in an iron lung, and I tried to follow that continuity. It didn't work.
Yeah, and like Tony Stark has how many different origin stories?
A lot.
I lost count.
A lot.
So let's
start with your number 5.
Like my number 5, it's not anything to really. I mean, it's not much to do with Tony Stark. It's his son. It's Iron Lad, but who made the Iron Lad suit is kind of not really like that's kind of up for grabs, I guess. But it is the coolest looking. He did download vision into himself. It is the most
which is pretty sweet. Let's be honest here.
I mean, come on. It's the most technologically fancy suit there is. It works on, I guess, emotions, goods.
Interesting. I will say the face on it is the face on it feels almost weird to me because we're so used to the Iron Man, like the faceless face almost. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. And this one has an actual looking face. It looks like Vision. And it's so weird seeing that Vision's head on an Iron Man suit body.
It's a bit weird, especially given like the history. But, so it's got all the normal stuff you would think, but it also does some it can bend time and shit like that. And, force fields and all this craziness. And manifestations based on sort of emotions and what's going on around them and stuff. So it's cool. There's a lot to do with this armor and it looks pretty badass.
And I do just want to call attention to the fact that Iron Lad is Nathaniel Richards, who is also technically Kang the Conqueror, one of his incarnations, and it gets really weird. So
we don't have to get into it.
No, we don't. We don't. But I wanted to call attention to that because it is just one of those, like I was saying, incredibly weird things in the Marvel universe.
Yes, it is. Yeah. Especially surrounding all this weird shit surrounds Tony Stark.
Yeah, a lot of it does, doesn't it? Well, my number 5, I picked purely on looks because it's just honestly kind of ridiculous and I love it. It's the Iron Man armor model 57, otherwise known as the Fin Fang Foombuster. And it's that's a Gundam suit.
Transformer or the Gundam, whatever you want.
Like it's straight up a Gundam. And
it's giant.
It's ridiculous, and I love it. That's it. That's my whole reason of picking it.
It's skin deep, but Fing Fing Foom, giant dragon. You build a giant armor.
Yep. And with this one, it is technically kind of powered by the Model 56 on the inside.
Yeah, he's like inside of it.
Yeah, he's inside of an armor, inside of the armor.
Like,
so we're going
Russian egg thing going on.
We've got the whole like Gurren Lagann thing going on here.
Yeah, he just busts out, and then then another tiny one busts out of that one, and then another smaller one busts out of that one. It's just running with his little legs across the ground.
The Foombuster gets broken, and he has to eject into the Model 56, which is cool looking. It is a little bit different than his normal armor, but he's got his own Gundam. How fucking badass is that?
It is cool, but at the same time, it breaks pretty fast. I mean,
it does, but it's skin deep here. We're going skin deep. Yeah.
No, I love it. No, that's one of the coolest ones for sure. So moving on to my number 4 is Model 68, and it's the like virtual reality suit. Now, it looks really cool because it's pixelated. It's kind of pixelated a little bit. It's got the dots, so it kind of looks like an old-fashioned comic book drawing because it's just got all these dots around it. But really, it's made out of like holograms, so it can literally turn into anything he wants. It is only limited by the imagination of Tony Stark, who's like certified psychopath. Like he can imagine a lot of crazy shit.
He can imagine. I like this one, how it's more smooth. It's less jagged edges, on the base model of it. Because really, like you said, it could be anything that he wants it to be.
Yeah. And I mean, that's pretty much how it goes. So, it's made to take down his brother Arno and
his secret brother, by the way.
What? Yeah.
His secret brother,
616 or something.
Yeah. Well, 616 is Prime Earth. Like that is the main Earth for Marvel, and. There were a couple other that were first like digital with that as well, and one of them was my runner-up, but I not my number 4. My number 4 goes back a little bit to the Iron Man armor model 40. This one, again, skin deep here. It looks really cool. It's got like these fins on the back. It's got like this cool, like almost like engine armor thing on his back, and. Right. This one was created to fight the Mandarin and the Titanomechs that the Mandarin forced Tony to build, and then he erased his memory, so he had no memory of building them, and that's as far as I read before I stopped and was like, yeah, this is cool.
Yeah. No, it's a good one. It is super cool looking. It's like heavy duty, man. It's built to be durable. It's built to get him.
Yeah, it's got like extra layers and stuff on it. Yeah. And I like that it has, I don't know, man, how many different repulsor rocket circles on it? Like 18.
Well, my number 3, I went to the movies. I went
nice.
Mark 45. Now, for me, Mark 45, this is Age of Ultron armor. This is Battle of Sokovia. And I think of all the iterations in the movies, this one most looks like what I dreamt of when I was a little kid watching it on the cartoon. Like, it just is perfect. And it's got the glowy orb in the middle, less of the triangle shape, more because like it's now, in him. And I just thought this was the coolest fucking looking armor I've ever seen in a movie. So it's got the standard shit, the repulsors, the unibeam, the laser weapons and all that stuff. Missiles, obviously. But I just thought it was so cool.
Yeah, this is definitely, it's one of the slicker armors from the movies for sure. It has the slightly classic look with a modernized, sleek, almost like sports car kind of look.
Right.
And it's exactly what every little boy and girl are going to imagine themselves wearing as them being Iron Man. This is the core of it. I like that.
They did such a good job in the movies making these Iron Man suits and making them unique at the same time. And one, I was like, that's
the evolution of them throughout the movies, going from the Mark 1 and then getting, like the silver and red Mark 4 and then getting up into the newer ones. They did a really good job of building these up and making them recognizable. This is Iron Man to the comic book fans. But like you said, making it unique and fresh enough for the movies.
That and acknowledging the same thing that the comic books acknowledge, that this dude is just pathological, constantly working, innovating, and building new shit. And so you jump from a Mark 1 to like a Mark 12, like what happened to the other Marks? And it's like, well,
the first few we did get like the Mark 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We even got up to Mark 7, and then it jumps to 12, and then we end up jumping to 44, and then I think the last one was Mark 85. So
it's just how it goes. But so I did quite enjoy that, and this one I thought was phenomenal looking.
Definitely. I believe we are on my number 3, and we're sticking with comic books here, and this is one of the more tame things that Tony Stark did. He joined the Guardians of the Galaxy. And when he did that, he created the Deep Space Armor, or the Model 45 in the comics. And it's really cool looking. Where the arc reactor is on the chest, it's like a blooming sun with like little sun rays around it. It's a little more sleek. Yeah. The face isn't just traditional, and it has a few different forms, including the Saturn V armor extension for lunar landing, and it almost looks Hulkbuster-esque. It's got back thrusters on it. It can reach up to faster than Mach 10 speeds. It's cool. Yeah,
it's definitely a slick looking armor. It definitely says like spaceman,
Yeah, that's part of why I picked it, because it's called the Deep Space Armor. It looks like, hey, Mr. Spaceman. And some of the different, forms that it has, or the different layers that it has, one of them even almost looks like the Iron Spider suit, which I thought was pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
So, I liked the sun on the front of it. I liked the more jagged edges on some of the parts and stuff. It's cool.
Right. Well, moving on to number 2, I had to pick Model 11. You knew this was coming, the War Machine model.
I'm surprised you didn't have that number 1, because you asked me almost immediately. You're like, can I pick War Machine?
So I don't know why, but as a kid, I always loved War Machine. I thought the black, silver, white was like the coolest fucking looking. It was, because I thought like back then I was like, colors are lame. Primary colors suck. Black and white shades are cooler. And so it was just kind of always my favorite for no real good reason, but it's really
just because it was all silver, all that gunmetal silver.
Oh yeah. And man, you got the twin guns, you got the laser, all sorts of lasers. You got the flamethrower.
It's literally the suit that a kid would create. Like if a kid could create an Iron Man suit, what are they going to do? They're going to put every weapon they could possibly think of on it. And that's what you got War Machine from. Honestly. Man, they put so much on this shit. Like, your depleted uranium, high explosives, thermite, tear gas. You had sub nukes. You had like all this shit you never really needed. But I mean, you just loaded him up like a motherfucking weapon of just destruction. Oh yeah, and we got a few armors later on that were very obviously based on the War Machine, like Model 48, which is the cold iron armor, and that one has some similar looks with like the machine guns, and it's got a harpoon and stuff on it, and you can tell this is very it's got a harpoon, because why not? I don't know.
Sharks.
Yeah, I don't know much about this armor, where it came from, but it gives you a very
on a moon. That's for whaling on the moon. He's
Those
carrying
damn
a
moon
harpoon.
whales. But you can tell this is definitely modeled after the War Machine.
Right.
So-
no, 100%. Like, I mean, it's just a cool look. That's why I loved in the movies where they went to that heavy like red and silver at times, because it's just so much cooler.
Yeah, I loved when they went to the red and silver, and then they switched to like the black and gold was really cool. But my number 2 detracts from all of that and is like a whitish silver with really light blue, and it's the Model 50 armor, the Indosim armor.
Oh,
So
cool.
this one, so I had to read up on this. I just really liked the way it looked. It is freaking sick looking. It's so different than what we're used to with the gold and the red and, you know, even the gold and black. And this one came about because of the whole Axis story with I think it was like Avengers versus X-Men and then Scarlet Witch, and Dr. Doom used this inversion thing that flipped everybody's personalities, and then Tony switched and it flipped his moral axis, and then he moves to San Francisco and he wants to turn it into a utopia, and his way of doing that is to release Extremis 3.0, a techno virus, into the water stream, then release an app for $100 a day that you could just change your body however the fuck you want. Yeah, it gets kind of fucked up and weird. But that's not why I picked this armor. I picked it because it's cool. And it's a full like liquid smart metal, which hardens instantly. It's super cool concept and design. The look of it, like I said, is so very different than what we're used to. And it instantly stood out to me with the design the way it is.
One of the most striking that there is on the whole like collage of Iron Man.
Yeah,
armors.
the white silver with the light blue repulsor instead of like the yellow or the straight white colors. I loved it.
Yeah.
And again, surface deep. I didn't go too far past what I just explained, and I already forget it. So
Well,
it's based off of symbiote technology, which is kind of cool.
Oh yeah. My all-time favorite is Model 37, the Bleeding Edge armor. Now,
Oh, hey, that was another symbiote based one.
so this was pretty much at the epitome where everybody's like, dude, you're fucking crazy. Like, why are you still working on this shit? Like, honestly, what are you doing? But it ends up being one of the coolest. So this is the one that just kind of lives up in him. And whenever he wants to, he can boom. It looks slick. It looks Iron Man as fuck, you know?
Well, yeah,
And-
like it's the Bleeding Edge, but it also has the Iron Destroyer alias, which is really cool.
Yeah. At the time of the making of this armor, like it is super like crazy technology. And they went through some pretty awesome innovations with it, including like composing it of carbon nanotubes instead.
Yeah, in order
that
to
he
fight
could
Magneto.
against Magneto and shit. And this whole time, like Mr. Fantastic's just like, you're fucking psycho, dude. You're fucking insane. Like, just chill the fuck out. And you know, but yeah, dude.
Yeah, honestly,
Tony Stark's
like I said,
and he's inventive. He's fucking.
he creates some crazy stuff. And like I said, with this one, even the Bleeding Edge, him merging it with Uru with Odin and this whole battle, creating the Iron Destroyer. Honestly, that's the coolest. One of the coolest looking ones.
Yeah, I loved it.
But that was my number one. My number one, we're hitting up the movies. I had to have one from the movies on my end, and looking through,
Mark 1.
there was none that I liked more than the Mark 48.
Of course.
Hulkbuster 2.0.
You are a softie for Hulkbuster.
Look, dude, seeing the original Hulkbuster pop out in the movies was just sweet. It coming down from space, and you know, he couldn't even get it put together while the Hulk was beating the shit out of him. That was great. But this one, look, I'll be 100% honest. Part of why I picked this is because it's a Hulkbuster armor being piloted by the Hulk. being piloted by Bruce Banner. How freaking just sweet is that? It was just like the icing on the cake. This comes out and it opens up and Bruce Banner's inside of it. Come on.
No, the Hulkbusters are always cool. They look badass.
And this one is just slick. You know, I compared the one that you said. Which one was yours again? The one from the movie, the 45.
45. Yeah.
You know, I compared that one to like a sports car, but this one takes it to a whole new level. You know, this is the 48, and this is like mom's SUV got a sports car upgrade.
My wife describing the Hulkbuster, she's like, it looks like that one X-Men guy. I'm like, you mean Juggernaut? I'm like, oh fuck, it does.
Yeah.
It looks like a giant version of the Juggernaut. Holy shit.
Yeah. But you know what? Now that you mentioned that, there are quite a few character designs in the Marvel universe that have this almost exact same look with like the domed flat head. And
yeah,
now I can't unsee that shit.
I like it.
Yeah.
You know?
Me too. Me too. And I like this one too, because it's not just the red and gold. It's red and gold with like the silver trim and stuff thrown in there.
Oh, yeah,
kind of breaks it up. It's just really cool. And I have
a little bit cooler chromed out.
I have the Funko Pop of it too. So
do you?
Yeah.
Nice.
And it's really cool looking.
Yeah.
There you have it, guys. There's our top 5. That was a little quicker this week, but that's because we went surface deep, because we don't reading up on Iron Man. I thought I knew at least a little bit about him. Nah, I didn't even scratch the surface. I don't know shit about Iron Man. I might have to read some of the comics at some point, but I'll watch the movies for sure. I'm excited for Ironheart to be coming out soon.
Or something.
Yeah.
He's dead.
But we've got Ironheart coming out. You know, she kind of took over the mantle.
Yeah.
And maybe they'll bring in his long lost brother who was genetically manipulated by an alien robot to pilot a giant space celestial
vision son.
Shit gets weird. All right. It gets weird. But let us know what your favorite Iron Man armor is. And if we fucked anything up, let us know. Tell us. We would love to be more educated on this. Yeah, I'm sure we screwed up describing at least one of these. But let us know. Inform us. And you can do so by reaching out to us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, all at 2dap2020. You can email us at 2dap2020@gmail.com. And
next time on Two Dads and a Podcast.
Next time on Two Dads and a Podcast, we did another interview, and this one was a lot of fun.
We did. And it was. And I believe we did already mention it. Don't laugh at me.
Well, that's going to be next week's.
Yeah, that's going to be next week's episode. We mentioned it already. We've got Jim Ferranda coming for you. And he's the voice of Claptrap. He's the voice of Muscular in My Hero Academia.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of fun. He is a nerdy dude. And honestly, we could have talked for hours and hours. When we finished up, it was over 2 hours in. And he's like, man, I could have kept going. And I was like, I got to be a dad. My kid got in trouble at school. I'm sorry.
So it'll be fun to bring that to you guys. I don't know how long it is. I don't know how long it's going to be when I edit it, because this one may end up being over an hour. It may end up being one of our longest outside of Michaela Krantz. Yeah. Well, there you have it. After that, we will do our top 5 anime feature film movies. Finally.
We're not.
We'll get that one in the books for you. Check out soon. It'll probably be out by the time this airs. I hope you guys enjoyed our newest episode of Felix Fails, where I did indeed fail. He did. We played Rogue Legacy. Well, he played Rogue Legacy while I yelled at him a bunch.
He
Yes.
died a lot.
That ragu was tasty.
He died a lot. He died more in this than the other ones by far.
That was the point, though, of the game, was to die.
After collecting more stuff to get more powerful, you forgot to do that part.
Now look.
All right.
About this with the counselor. She told us to work on our communication skills.
Yeah, and you're just not listening to me. But guys, anyway, we'll continue this in therapy later. You guys, thank you so much for listening.
We love you guys, and see you next time.